that's what you want. Yeah.
Sounds like we might go Facebook Live. I'm going to turn you down a little bit, but not enough to listen to the chatter.
That's why I was thinking maybe sit here so you can comment and whatnot. But
I'm just driving through nothingness.
we are live.
Okay. That's Facebook Live. Okay. Alrighty, friends. First alert, meteorologist Cameron Venable here. We are traveling south of Amarillo. Looks like a few little cells are popping up near Amarillo. Nothing severe. Got a couple little rain droplets. Now, the thing is, the reason we are so cloudy, lots of low clouds, fog, and pretty terrible visibilities, and even light drizzle, is because we're along the warm fronts. So we're getting some of, a lot of times we talk about overrunning during the winter time. Well, during severe weather season, you can get overrunning on just a warm front. And when you get overrunning on a warm front, just north of the warm front, it's going to look like this outside. So I'm not sure if you guys are on me or if the camera, okay. Alex, you want to switch it to me? Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just talk over like this. So as you can see, this is the weather atlas we're out in, and that's the camera on top. And so you can see what's going on outside right now. It is pretty cloudy. Low clouds, looks like nimbus stratus, and occasionally some light drizzle. It is actually lightening up quite a bit because we are going to go south of the warm front very soon. I made a post on my Twitter at CVenableWX and on my professional page, kind of showing you where all the boundaries were. We have a stationary boundary along I-40, which divides the warm and cold air. That's why in the northern zones right now, it is quite cold, chilly, that's it. And then, of course, we have the warm front just south of Amarillo. So one thing you're going to notice if we get there while we're doing this Facebook Live is you're going to notice the cloud cover is just going to more or less start to break up, and we'll actually see patches of sunshine. And as we drop south, we will likely see thunderstorm towers, cumulus towers going up, because the environment is primed for severe weather. We do have a tornado watch in effect that goes until 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. That tornado watch is going to be for a couple tornadoes possible. Hail possibly up to tennis ball sized, and damaging winds in excess of 75 miles per hour. That tornado watch encompasses south of I-40, more or less. It does include Randall County, but not Potter County. Now, even though Potter County is not under a tornado watch, be advised, we could have some storms nearby. Right now, we do have a storm, a few storms. Oh, look at that. I-27 is starting to go up a little bit. Definitely see it on a radar scope. So we're going to drive through it, actually. It looks like that little cell is going to be off to the left on our camera here. I don't know if we'll go into it. But nothing all that impressive right now, but storms are starting to get going a little more so. We are first alert both today, tonight, and tomorrow for several rounds of severe weather. It almost looked like there was hail mixing in. See it bouncing?
Mm-hmm.
I think we might be mixing in some small hail already, and if we are, that really shows that we're about to get this show on the road. And this is very local. We're just south of Amarillo going down I-27. But that did look like hail, kind of bouncing off the road. What? Oh, yeah. Of course, as always, you should download the NewsChannel 10 First Alert Weather app. You will get the tornado watch. If you had it, you got the tornado watch. You will get severe thunderstorm warnings, should we get those, which we likely will. And if we see tornado warnings, your phone will go off for tornado warnings. Once you download the First Alert Weather app, you definitely want to make sure it follows you. Now, if you're stationary, say you're in Amarillo or in Tulia or Silverton or Kittaquay or whatnot, make sure it follows you so it's going to actually tell you that there is a warning in place for your location. If you're out and about, just driving around, Say you're driving from Randall County into Potter and a severe warning gets issued. If you don't have it follow you, once you leave that severe thunderstorm warning polygon, it will not alert you. So once again, downloading the First Alert weather app will help you follow along with watches, warnings, and also Dave and Alan will be posting little push notifications to give you heads up about thunderstorms, supercells, hail threats, tornadoes, and all the works when we were talking on a First Alert weather day, much like today. But other than just looking outside right now, it really ain't all that impressive. It is more or less just raining lightly. Looks like the storm is getting a little more impressive. Tad bit. Hey, you can talk.
Someone asked, what's in store for Amarillo?
What's in store for Amarillo? So, kind of like I was saying before, in terms of the boundaries, we have the stationary front along I-40, dividing the warm and cooler air. Cooler north, warmer south. We have the dry line, dividing deep moisture and dry air along the Texas-New Mexico line. We did have a few thunderstorms last night that left a boundary along Highway 60 that stretches through Amarillo. And of course the warm front advancing from the south. Watching where all these boundaries converge is what we call the triple point or a double point. There is a double point right now associated with that storm that is near Clovis. It is on the double point of the stationary boundary and the dry line. Typically, the more intersections you have, double or triple point, the greater the tornado chance is. Now, thankfully, it looks like the triple point will be southwest of Amarillo. It does not look like we will triple point over Amarillo, which is good. But it really looks like the bulk of the severe weather will originate the I-27 corridor near Amarillo, and then the real impressive stuff will start to take off as we look more towards the southeast panhandle. The southern panhandle, Tulia, the southeast panhandle, Childress. Be on the lookout for severe weather today. I'm just going to keep going on I-27 to Happy.
Yep, so far.
Sounds good. And yeah, just periodically, see that storm right there, that New Mexico storm. It's hard because we can't show you the radar with this setup in the Weather Atlas. But if you have our First Alert weather app, you can jump on and go look over by Clovis. There is a stationary supercell, looks like a training line of supercells trying to get its act together. And once again, that is very close to the double point. So watching the potential tornadoes increase in that area looks like a decent bet. I don't think we have any warnings or special weather statements active, anything like that.
Nope.
Nothing yet, but I assume we'll get that soon. The event is just getting started, friends. Once again, about, let's see, I think tornado watch is from, what time is it now? 4 o'clock. I think it's 4 to 9 p.m. 4 to 9 p.m. Not an overly long, okay, so we're noticing the raindrops getting bigger. Typically, as a thunderstorm updraft gets stronger, you loft a lot more rain into the updraft a little longer, and that's also how you generate hail. So typically, when we start to see raindrops increase in size, it's a very easy assumption that the storm near us is intensifying, and yes, it is. It's developing a hail core, and that is just north of Happy, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that storm is definitely taking off. We're going to drive into it. You put a location marker on that, see where we are in relation. Oh, that thing's exploding.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, storms are going to explode today, so it looks like we're going to get into it.
Just north of Happy.
North of Happy, this storm is developing a hail core. Would not be surprised to see that guy's severe warn fairly soon. Right now it is moderately raining, and on the radar it is not moderately raining, which likely means there's a lot of wind shear, which there certainly is, and so a lot of this rain is being thrown out of the storm. All right.
Someone asked, where's the highest probability for tornadoes?
Southeast Panhandle. Southern Panhandle. Southeast Panhandle. Really think that Southeast Panhandle looks like it. But I'm concerned that storms are firing a lot more. So yeah, it's typing hail. That's just west of I-27. That will go over I-27. Hail could be up to tennis balls with the largest storms. Nothing in terms of that right now. If I were to take a guess, that will likely be severe warn for quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds fairly soon because it is rapidly intensifying.
3
The speedometer is definitely on. What's up?
300.
Oh, what's it like in Freona?
Yeah. Was it 25?
Zoom out on the radar.
Clear so far.
Besides that Clovis storm, you're in an intermission right now. The fact that that storm popped up on the double point back in Curry County makes me concerned. We may actually see more stuff to the west. Once again, that tornado watch is for the entire area south of I-40, including Randall County, not Potter. We'll get some hail soon. We're a ways away though.
What about Panhandle?
Storm motions are going to be to the northeast at about 30 to 40 miles per hour, so that storm that more or less is sitting on I-27 right in front of us, in theory, if you trace it out, would likely go just south of Panhandle, and that's under the current track. And if you were to do the math, that's 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's probably an hour, hour and a half. Comes down to seeing if we have more storms blow up ahead of this main batch of storms. We check the old Radar Omega. It's always useful to see if we have special weather statements, which on our live wire application for watches and warnings, a special weather statement is going to be the strong storm advisory we normally have on there. And sure enough, our storm is under a significant weather advisory, aka precursor to severe thunderstorm warning. Makes total sense with the storm that is trying to produce hail. Let's get the party started. That storm's rapidly intensifying. We are going to do a procedure called a core punch, where we attack the storm from the north, go through the hail core to get to the south to see better storm structure, and if it were to, say, produce a tornado, you want to be south of the storm. So we're going to core punch this thing. Looks like decent hail. And this car is certainly built for hail, so is the camera on top. So let's test it out, shall we? Hail core is just west of I-27 at the moment. And I'm sure along our journey today, raindrops are getting bigger. These are likely called convective raindrops, meaning they're more or less almost hail. More or less along our journey, I think we're going to see a lot of storm chases. And I'll be surprised. Haven't seen lightning. Raindrops are definitely getting a little bigger. Visibility is going to start going down. Is there rain X on that lens? Oh no, that's right. That's the GoPro shot, actually.
Yeah.
What does the top shot look like? The white stuff?
Yeah. 1 second.
It looks like in that hail core there's big drops. There's lightning right there, intercloud lightning. Lightning being one of my favorite things in meteorology is also a great indication that the storm is intensifying. A lot of times when you go through an insane amount of lightning, it's called a lightning jump, you start to see the mesocyclone or rotating updraft of the supercell intensifying, and sometimes can lead to tornadogenesis or the formation of tornadoes. So lightning, although very, very interesting, is also a very important indication that the storm is trying to intensify, if really, really frequent. Lost 806. We're pretty close to that hail, so. You come around the mountain when you come.
Yeah.
Is this South Abbey hail point?
No, it's actually north.
North Abbey, okay. Alright, so we're going to try
This
this.
Cool. It hasn't updated, so it should be on 27 now.
Yeah, Radar Omega got the big, but we don't have the actual radar. really much rain X on the camera, or on the windshield up. Out.
Yeah.
Probably do that.
For any wipers, you go faster.
Can they hear me? I mean, the problem is when you core punch, it gets loud. So right now it's just heavy rain, moderate to heavy. But when we actually get into the hail core, it's going to be a lot louder. You may not be able to hear me. So there's that. Visibility, of course, is going to go down as you start to engage the hail core. Yeah, awesome. You got it. That went down. Down kind of close up. So we're slicing through the core, and the hail core is just west of us right now. So we're going to miss it. Well, to get an indication of the hail. Wow, look at all the water coming off the bridge.
Yeah.
Also, heavy rain threat is going to be pretty high today, even with fast-moving storms. There's something we use to forecast heavy rain. It's called precipitable water. And if you were to take a column of the atmosphere and condense the water out to pure liquid, we would get values somewhere between 3/4 inch to an inch. And for this time of year, having precipitable water over an inch means you're going to have very heavy rain producing. We sliced it. Missed it. Now, the thing about hail cores is a lot of times you'll notice as we start to drive a little closer to it, a lot of times the hail core is actually going to be out of the rain, and it's going to be, you're not really going to see it. It's off to the southwest right now, over there. And, well, you can't really see it, but I can tell you if you get into that bad boy, you're going to see hail. Now, a lot of times when the hail's really bad and really big, you get what's called a hail shaft, where if you look off to whatever direction, you're going to see a white coloration opposed to your more darker raindrop rain shaft color that we normally see. We lost 806 or I turned them off. And of course, our 806 storm chasers are out and about, also helping us out with first alert coverage today. It's always good to have multiple teams on storms. Just trying to see if I get a copy from Guest. But one of the biggest battles, if you don't have some sort of tech to help you with your phone service, is lack of internet service while out here. So that's probably why I can't get a hold of the 806ers. Last time I heard, they were here happy, and they're going to go east into terrible phone coverage. We are too, but we have some tech to help us out. Any questions?
Nope.
No. And that's another thing when we're out here chasing and stuff. Sometimes we're looking over parameters. Yeah, phone service problems.
Yeah.
Figures.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of times
Refresh.
when we're out and about, we're driving, we're keeping an eye on the storm, we're looking at radar. So we may not get to your questions immediately, but we'll try. We're out here more to give you a first eye look at what's going on. So we are south of the storm, and like most thunderstorms, when you go south of them, you're in what's called the inflow area, and it starts to clear up. Notice the visibility is not as bad. It's still kind of cloudy. Hey, that must have been a fire a while ago. Side of I-27.
We're just north of Happy.
North of Happy, bingo. Hey, look at that. There's happy faces near Happy. on Waze. That's funny. I don't know what's the deal with that. I guess when you drive through, if you're on Waze, you got to put a happy face when you visit Happy. And, you know, sometimes it's going to be a little more lighthearted. Because, honestly, a lot of storm chasing is just waiting and driving. It's funny if you, like, talk to people about it. You're like, would you want to go drive all over the place and maybe see some action for 30 minutes? That's like a good day. And, yeah, that's what we do. Chasing's always a blast. See the power of nature. I think we should pull off and Happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all unhappy? Car stopped at 0.3 miles. Oh, yeah, there it is right there. It's cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I never really consolidated a more impressive hail core to be severe one. Is it still there? Yes. Yes, it is.
It's actually past it. Past it.
Yeah, we're quite south of the hail core. Quite south of the storm.
Oh, you want to go over the canyon?
Yeah, I know.
DC.
It's gonna go over the canyon. The problem is, tracking storms in the southeast panhandle, they almost always go over Paladuro Canyon, where there are no roads and there's very limited cell service. Kind of a little notch at the bottom of that. You see that?
Yeah, this is.
Anything? And
What time is it? 25.
storm relative.
23. Good.
I assume they're gonna take us to 5. That's a broad rotation, as these storms should try to rotate. So that's
Check New Mexico.
a surprise. Yeah, check New Mexico. Figures the storm that's super far from us is looking more impressive. Definitely. Dark bases behind us. Should flip around the top camera. What's that? 1,
3.
3.
I got it.
Okay.
Behind us.
Yeah, just to show the dark bases, to show that, you know, when you're south of the storm, that it, you know, it's going to look kind of nice, and then there's the storm. So yeah, we just switched to the top camera on the weather atlas, and that's behind us as we're driving, and you can see the really dark bases. So you just saw the GoPro shot of in front of us, where it's much lighter skies and not too bad at all, and then you have dark bases. Want to pull off here?
That's fine.
Go to Happy. Onward to Happy.
So yeah, there's a cop right there.
I saw that. No, yeah, that rat's a problem. You can barely see during the day. Imagine how it's gonna be at night. Darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It looks like there's some cells west of Lubbock.
I was worried the really good stuff's gonna go up in Lubbock's
All
area.
the chasers are out towards like Silverton and
So what you're saying is all the chasers are blasting down I-27 and just latching on to what the HER shows, which
Pretty
is
much.
there. Switch that camera to the right. This is the one that's on the Facebook.
Yeah.
There we are. So you can definitely see the rain. Yeah, we can probably pull off here for a bit.
Which way does it seem like it's heading?
That's what I want to do. I want to look over some stuff. Occasionally, we're going to stop and kind of diagnose what's going on. Decent looking storm. Very high based. For those concerned about tornadoes, in order to get tornadoes, you need the storm's base, the bottom of the storm, to be much, much closer to the ground. So when we look at this guy, you can see this storm is what we call an elevated storm, and it has a much higher base, which means the tornado potential is lower for now. What's the thing?
What thing?
KFDA News. What's the password? I'll put it in. I'm gonna go outside and see how it feels.
Hang on, I need to plug
It's not
something.
overly warm, but yeah, it's all
It's on
right.
the- let me see your phone.
Yep, go for it. You kind of see the hail shaft.
There's the questions right here.
Okay. Good deal. Does that storm by Canyon have hail? You can actually see the hail. Let me zoom in on this thing. Well, maybe not. I don't know how far it can get. There you go. So in the center, you see the darker colors? That is going to be the very narrow hail shaft. It's not all that impressive, honestly, yet. Let's see here. The storm is definitely taking a shape like trying to rotate, like a supercell, but it ain't doing it quite yet. Still pretty early in the event, though. There are some more impressive storms further south. Where are we? We're in Happy. We're in Happy, just right next to 87, actually. Where's Doppler Dave? He's at home. Tracking stuff. It's really hard that they can't see the radar.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way we could roll it in on the switcher or something. Take like a USB or something around it.
That's a good
Has a
idea.
tornado touchdown? No. Tornado watch. A tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes in the next 24 hours, or in our case, between now and 9 p.m. if you are highlighted in the yellow polygon, which is the tornado watch. Well, Pat answered the question for me. Excellent. Likes the tech? Yes, I like the weather atlas. This is pretty cool. Storm I'm looking at is the one that is south of Amarillo. It's
Here, let me put it. It'll help to
it's trying. I mean,
develop a little.
it's definitely looking like it's trying to be a little more supercellular. But the hail core is diminished. A lot of times what these storms do is they start to rotate their updraft and try to be supercells. They go through cycling, where they cycle. Oh, look, we got some scud. Scud are cloud fragments that help to lower the base of the storm. So what do I mean by scud? That right there. So there's a little scud right there. Let me zoom out. That scud is probably right over I-27. I mean, it's trying to rotate, very obviously. But once again, for those that are like, oh my goodness, tornado, you need the clouds to be a lot closer to the ground to get a tornado. And so far, our cloud bases aren't horrible. They're pretty high based, but not very low to the ground. Apparently there's a SIG for the Eastern Panhandle.
That's the latest.
Apparently there's a storm that's trying to be strong near Shamrock. Even on the thing, I'm having trouble getting decent internet. That's the biggest...
Well, this is the, I think, let me grab the 18s then.
Okay. That's the biggest problem with storm chasing in the modern era. It's wonderful to have the tech radar, but half the time the radar doesn't work because everyone's trying to use it. So even us, here at Channel 10, or the professionals, even with the text, sometimes we're not going to have internet, and that's just going to be, that's just the world we live in now. All right, I'm going to try that. I should probably jump in weather service chat too. Oh. Let's see what they're thinking. So far, it's starting off pretty mediocre, which not surprised with the cloud cover. Once again, I'm just focusing on the lowest part of the base. And visibility's starting to drop, gives you an idea the rain's starting to get a little heavier over there. Let's see what the weather service chat's saying. What is that beeping?
I think it's Unity.
Yeah. Mark Fox from the weather service is saying the storm split, which is why it died. It kind of split. Kind of.
That's east right there.
Radar Omega. Yeah, that's the storm that I saw on Radar Omega with the SIG.
That's Amarillo.
Well,
try Frederick.
Radar Omega's having a radar outage right now. Smooth.
Are you serious?
Smooth. Trying to be the radar scope killer, and that happens. I guess we just don't have a strong enough signal to get out to 806. They got to be better.
Man, this is getting...
It's getting more impressive. I mean, it looks like it's trying to wrap up. Meaning it's trying to rotate. It's right along the highway. And of course, we're going to play our favorite game right now, which is let's find a road that can get us to that storm. And of course, you know it's there. Volunteer Canyon. We go up 27. What about 285? FM 285. That's the wayside road. That's the storm. That's the road we always take for these type of storms. Hotspot just does not want to work. Sorry if we're a little slow on the comments. It doesn't seem like we have a very strong signal.
Alright, let's look at road options.
Yeah, I saw FM 285. Radar Omega is still good to look at roads, but not the radar apparently. Storm's developing a hook. Yeah, it's trying to wrap up. Wouldn't quite call it a hook yet. See, look at the latest scan. Well, if you're tracking with the radar, the hook's already gone. It's wrapping up is the terminology we like to use when it tries to do something and intensify. Oh, it looks like there's a little shelf there. See that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This looks elevated. Definitely looks like an elevated storm. What do I mean by an elevated storm? I mean a storm that is using most of the energy above the ground, which we call an elevated thunderstorm. Tends to happen at night, or if we're very cloudy. If you get sunshine to the ground, we have storms called surface-based storms, and the surface-based storms, where it's using the energy closer to the surface, those are the ones that produce the tornadoes. So, it being elevated right now, we could transition pretty easily to surface-based, but the cloud cover is the biggest limiting factor at the moment. Now they can't hear us. I think the signal's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell Kate.
Hang on, let me see.
Tell
check Unity.
I'd just tell Digital cut this. Is this?
Hang on.
Okay. Yep, Cruz, you are correct, my friend. Radar Omega is awesome, but they're having a radar outage at the moment, which is unfortunate.
Are we still live?
It doesn't even say the number of people, so I don't think we're live. I would just tell Caitlin I think the signal's gone. There's a good chance if you can maybe sort of possibly hear us as we drive towards Palo Duro Canyon, you will lose us, most likely, especially for Facebook Live. That is just the reality of this area. Having the second largest canyon in the United States makes it very, very hard to be live. I think we should go up by FM 285.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move. Let me just take this camera. Or zoom down so you can see stuff. I mean, we'll probably just go back to... Well, no, we'll use this camera. And you can play with that. All right, here we go. Onward to glory again. I take 87 gonna link up? Or should I just flip a U? I just flip a U.
Yeah, I'll probably flip a U.
U-turn, here we come. U-turn, population us. Yeah, that storm's definitely elevated. Looks like it's a little lower though, back there. Did you get a hold of them?
I'm waiting. We're still live.
Are they hearing us?
I guess so.
Normally when you're having issues, it'll say live, but it won't say the number of people watching. And that's how you know you're having Facebook issues.
We'll be live until a cut-in or the 5.
Okay. Well, there's a good chance we're going to get lost up here. Hopefully not, because that would be blind. Now, is that a scud tag back there? Or is that a lower base? You see that?
I can't. There's...
Right there. It's
I see
above the
it.
building.
Huh.
Might be a scud tag. Yeah, go to that camera and find that thing. So they can see what we're talking about. Cardboard destroyed. And definitely you can see the darker base over there. We were sitting in happy for a bit, but our storm's going over the canyon. It has a nice cut, meaning it's trying to rotate. It definitely does have a nice cut. That's really nice.
Just a...
We're gonna lose some radar.
Yeah.
We might lose 51.
Well, I want to make sure roads...
285 goes to Wayside.
Okay.
It's the road we always take. I think it's this one right now, isn't it? Healy Road? No. No, it's
It's up there.
Yeah, it's the next one. Ways away from that storm. What's happened when the storm moves 30 miles an hour east?
Because that's why people are playing east.
Yeah. I think Lubbock's going to do it, man. I think some of those model runs show Lubbock getting it. I think they're going to get it. Because it looks like they're going soup. Yeah, they got 3 soups west of Lubbock. Yep. Everything felt like it was just a tad bit off. Gotta lose something by this truck. Sheet metal. Ah, the road I've been on way too many times. FM 285 to Wayside. The number of supercells I've paralleled on this road are quite a few. see how the back is around.
I'll try to load Facebook.
Facebook. That's probably something harder than forecasting the weather is learning Facebook. With how it changes every 15 seconds.
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Why is
right.
it going through there?
Oh, that's why I can't hear the 806s, because you're on.
There you go.
And also, what happened to my aux?
Yeah, what happened to it? I didn't touch it. Oh,
I guess
right here.
Oh, when we were trying to connect to the thingamajig.
Yeah.
We got some storm chasers in front of us. It might be them. It might be 806. I don't see channel 10 details. It is 806. There they are. Ah, we've linked up with our 806 storm chaser friends. I'm going to go see what they're up to. It is a nice ride. So, this ain't the 60s.
It's on.
Everyone's chattering about Lubbock or sitting here till 5 and seeing if the storm's going to do anything after the east. You got the 806s, Jay McCoy from 4. Little storm chaser gathering. Go ahead and chat if you want.
It's alright. I'm trying to see.
I don't think our storm's going to do it, man. I think the cloud coverage just messed it up. We still Facebook Live?
Yep.
Yeah, kind of like I was saying yesterday. If you caught me at 4 and 5 o'clock, I kept saying it's a conditional setup. It all needs to come together to happen. And, you know, the atmosphere is definitely primed for supercells and tornadoes, but the biggest problem is the cloud cover, and it's cool out. Also, a lot of RFD off this storm. I mean, it's just cold winds pouring out the backside of the storm that's off to the north of us. They were trying to talk to me the whole time. They just unplugged.
Yeah.
It might be that tomorrow's just the show.
We'll see.
Meanwhile, the her wants a big old soup on him. 7 o'clock.
Tomorrow or today?
Tonight.
Tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can't see who's watching this, so I don't think I have a clear shot of the feed. I might be able to answer questions after the fact, but it's not going to be real time because we don't have a stellar live signal here. 252 and watching. That was 8 minutes ago, so we still do it, people.
200.
200? Okay, there we go. So now that we can see that, it means we have a cleaner feed. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, Terry. I've done this for a bit. We have a hotspot, Jeremy. It's my favorite time of the year. Yep. Severe weather season's pretty wild. It's just a waiting game. I mean, I'd say that's what 90% of storm chasing is waiting. No. 90% chasing is driving. 8% waiting. 2% fun. Break that math down there. Is there a way we can show the radar? I mean, if we showed the radar at the GoPro, maybe?
Download the app.
Yeah, true. But then they can't watch and do it. Oh no, maybe you can picture in picture on iPhones and stuff.
Maybe on the laptop.
Laptop.
Yeah.
Andrew. What's up?
I think we're going to probably go to Tulia,
Yeah.
over to Silverton,
Yep.
drop south out of Silverton.
You don't think Childress gonna get Walt like the her wants?
Well, if they are, it'll probably be those storms that are coming.
Yeah, I don't think this storm's gonna do it. We're gonna have to go through the canyon, have no service.
I think it's too far off the
Warm front, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Hardly any lightning. It's elevated.
Yeah, it's definitely elevated. I like that idea though. Tulia to Silverton, Turkey, then drops off.
We thought about doing Plainview, but we're not going to get there in time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
we're
that's
going
good
to
game
Tulia,
plan.
east to Silverton, south to Floydada.
That's good.
Get out ahead of it, because one of those is going to dominate those cells.
Yeah.
Probably the middle one, it looks like.
The one that's due west of Abernathy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when that takes off, when it gets on 27, it starts tapping this 200 SRH up here. And it's going to latch on.
Yeah.
It's going to go ballistic around Floydada.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we'll probably do something
I just
similar.
hope the her isn't trolling us and Amarillo gets walloped like it's showing. And we're all going to be in Plainview like, oh, sorry, guys.
Well, let's hope not. All right, we'll be in touch. I have the aux plugged in this time, so I'll hear you. All right. Be safe, guys.
Man, come on.
Yeah, it's cool outside. Yeah, that was just our 806 storm chasers. They're thinking of dropping south to Tulia, east to Silverton, to Turkey, drop south to Paducah. I like that idea.
Paducah. Thought they're going to Floydada.
Oh, yeah. Floydada. Yep, that's right. Not Paducah. Matador is what I was thinking.
Matador.
Let's try it over there. It is too far off the warm front, it seems like. The good thing is, with this weather atlas, we can drop south and reposition, but flip the camera backwards, and so it looks like we're on a storm, and we're actually repositioning. So that's extremely
Trying
useful.
to look for red when that works.
Yep, that's always our number one priority, my friends, is being safe. I love storms, but I ain't gonna give my life for them. I mean, there'll always be more storms. You only got one life. So, that's always our number one priority, being safe. That road out to Tulia is 207. We've also taken that road numerous times. It's funny, after a while doing this, you kind of go the same paths. Yeah, it starts trying to lower down to the surface. I'm worried about this stuff to the west, though. What's it going to do?
That's New Mexico.
Yeah. What's it going to do? I'm going to look at Mezzo. Alright, thermodynamic profile. I mean, we are capped. Amarillo over the canyon, and then it's untapped. Lubbock South. And I just checked mesoanalysis, and we're capped Amarillo over the canyon, and then it's untapped, no cap, 1500 Cape, Lubbock South. So what else we got here?